Matt here again, and today I'm going to give you a tour of the C.B. Smith Park located near Miami, Florida. On today's tour, I'm going to show you all around the C.B. Smith Park and Campground, and for a municipal park, I think you're going to be surprised at just how much this has to offer. So come along and I'll show you all of the park amenities and talk a little bit about some of the surrounding area as well. The campground is located at the back of this municipal park, nice and isolated from everything else, and the first thing you'll notice is all the roads are paved. You don't need to worry about any gravel or sand anywhere. And the same can be said for the lots. So all of the lots are paved lots and all fairly level as well. The campground is situated right on the edge of this nice little pond. So you do have water views from a lot of the campsites. You can see the campground is over on this side here. You've got a variety of different types of campsites here. You've got both pull through and back in, but regardless of whether you're in a pull-through site or a back-in site, they can all pretty much accommodate any size of rig. This isn't a huge campground, and it seems to be fairly popular. During the time that we were here, there was only ever a few lots free, and I'll start by showing you one of those free lots so you can see what an empty lot would look like. So here's one of the rare free lots. We'll have a look here. So this is nice double wide paved. You've got a picnic table and a little charcoal grill. You've got power, you've got 30 amp, 50 amp, and 20 amp. You do have sewer. You've got water, and this is site 10, by the way. So this is a back-in lot, and it backs in directly to this bike trail that kind of weaves through the center of the campground. And of course, in front of you, you do have those water views. No trash pickup in the park, but there are these portable dumpsters located all throughout. So you just simply bring your garbage over to those portable dumpsters, and they empty those on a regular frequency. Here's a look at the laundry facilities. So one laundry facility for the campground, but plenty of dryers and washers. And you are looking at $2 for a wash and $1 for dry. So not too bad at all, pretty reasonable price. Every site of this campground is going to offer sewer, water, and power. No cable TV here. There is free Wi-Fi, and they do give a little disclaimer at the start when you log in that it's not very fast, but you know what? We've been able to stream some TV shows. They just don't guarantee it. You've got a nice little fishing pier on this campground facing pond. Nice area to throw a line in, or even just come and sit down and relax. And everything that you're seeing in front of me is also part of this park. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you everything else that this park has to offer. And trust me, it's a lot. When you look at the campground map, you'll notice that it's divided up into little sub-loops that include maybe 4 or 5 sites each. So let's go in and have a look at the 18 to 22, site 18 to 22 loop, just so you can get a feel. And these are all pull-through sites, so you can see there's some pretty big rigs here. Convenient, they all have pull-through, but they also still have pretty nice size lot. Lots of green space in front of each trailer. And we kind of get to a dead end here, and that's because they are all pull-through sites. So the intent is you come into the loop and then you pull out through the other side. There's a few bathhouse facilities located throughout the park. They look something like this. And they're nice and clean on the inside. They are a little bit dated. Probably reminds me of something from the 1970s. But the fact that they're clean, the showers are hot and have good water pressure, not too bad at all. And right now I'm walking on the bike path and the walking path that cuts through the center of this campground. Feels like a little park-like setting. We've got RVs on either side. Lots of nice, mature shade trees everywhere as well. And that's great because when you get down here this far south, it is hot. We're on site 15, so there's a look at our site where we are a back-end site and perfect for a little 19-footer, but would certainly accommodate something quite a bit bigger. Compared to most municipal campgrounds that we've stayed at, this is on the pricier side at about $50 a night. But considering the size of the park and all of the extra amenities in addition to the campground, I think the $50 is worth it. Also, you do have to keep in mind that you are near a bunch of major centers, which is probably a reason that it is a little bit pricier. So what I'm walking through now is the very back loop of the campground. Almost feels like this is something that was added after the fact. Walking past lots 82 and 81 right now. Nice area as well, but the trees aren't quite as large in this area. So if you do have the choice, I would recommend picking a spot near the front of the campground. All right, so at this point you might be saying, but Matt, where's everything else to do? All I've seen is campsites so far and a boardwalk. Well, let's go have a look, but for this I need to get onto my bike because this is a very, very expansive municipal park. There's a lot to see and a lot to offer. However, it is a bit of a walk. So if you're here with kids, you might even want to drive to some of these other amenities in the park, or at least have your bikes. I'm going to take a bike because I want to show you everything that this place has to offer. All right, let's bike through the campground and head into the main park area to show you all of the other amenities. Once you leave the campground area, the first thing that you're going to find, the closest thing to the campground, this is probably a 2-minute walk, maybe a 5-minute walk with kids, is this really amazing playground that's even covered with some sunshades. And there's water bodies scattered throughout this park. And we're seeing one in front of us here. That's probably the largest one. There's actually a bike path, or a jogging path, that I think goes on for about 2 miles, maybe just under 2 miles, and it goes all around this water body. So a great little path if you want to check things out. You can also see that there's a number of covered pavilions throughout this park. There's a rental fee associated with that as well. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to find in this park is a whole series of racquetball courts, which are all free to use if you're a camper here. And there is a full-size basketball court as well. You've got a full outdoor gym with all of this equipment that uses body weight for lifting. And there's even a covered pavilion, so if you do want to do some of your workouts in the shade, maybe bring your own mat along, maybe do some yoga, that's a perfect spot for it. Next, you've got this area called Safety Town, and it's got a bunch of little buildings and some railroad crossings and streets. Honestly, not really fully sure what the purpose of this is, but I'm sure if you are a 4 to 7-year-old, you'd probably find this area very entertaining. All right, so maybe one of the main reasons that you might come here, especially with a family, is for Paradise Cove. And this is a rather substantial water park that you can pay an extra fee to get into. So it's $15 taxes in to check out this water park. Considering how close we are to so many major cities, this park feels nice, calm and quiet and relaxed. It's a great place to stay if you want to visit Fort Lauderdale or Miami or Hollywood, Florida. All of these places are between a 30 and a 40-minute drive away, depending on the traffic conditions and the time of day that you're going. As always, if you have any questions that I didn't answer in this video, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below, and I will do my best to answer those questions for you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It really does help us out. And don't forget to come back tomorrow to see where we go next.